So I wanted to talk about hot and cold therapy. This would be saunas and cold plunges and cold showers and that kind of thing. Because recently, the idea of working with the elements, hot and cold, was brought up to me recently by one of my somatic teachers, and I realized that this is something that I've been working with for a long time, and it's starting to click as to why. And I think the fact that Wim Hof has been very much like part of the popular culture recently. I feel like since 2020, Wim Hof has really taken off and people are now hearing about it. And that's really great. I also I started doing Wim Hof maybe semi-seriously around that time myself, and I didn't really have the guts to really like try to do it before then. I had done I'd gone to like not spas, but like those outdoor what are they called, like mineral pools, where they had the hot pool and then the cold plunge and you go back and forth, and I would do that a lot when I was living in Asia. That was like a very popular thing to do, and I did notice that like going from hot to cold, it was really like the big shock was going into the cold plunge because it was very intense, and I noticed that like, wow, like it feels so good afterwards. But it is so intense that it's difficult to get myself to do it. And I had been doing saunas from Bikram yoga since 2008, and I love it. And the thing is that, well, let me start with the hot, the sauna, and why it helps your nervous system, and why it's going to be so so good for people with anxiety, even maybe not even, but like particularly for people who are resistant to like heat changes, you know. Like I'm pretty intolerant to cold still. I think there was probably a point where I was more intolerant to heat. I got used to that. I'm getting more tolerant to cold. But the fact that you're not tolerant to it means that your nervous system has a little bit of inflexibility in it. So it's almost an indication if you don't like these extremes of heat, or if you seem to be unusually intolerant compared to other people, it might be a sign that you need it, maybe more than other people. It would benefit you more than other people to start doing this kind of thing. And the reason why is that with heat, at least with the sauna, you can kind of relax and slowly acclimate. And as you do, it's almost like there's a rising in energy. Some people feel it as like intense emotions coming about. And as you learn, it happens on a subconscious level. It's a little bit of consciousness to like have the resolve to sit there and not flee the situation. And it would probably help to mentally prime yourself, to tell yourself to just relax, try to relax, even for people who don't know how to relax. This is actually very helpful to learn how to relax. But on a subconscious level, it does kind of happen automatically if you give yourself the time to get used to this kind of thing. It might happen slowly over, you know, many sessions. And so what your subconscious nervous system is doing is learning how to let go and release this like kind of condensed, compact energy that happens when you're in this heat situation, like a sauna. And it becomes very intense, and you're kind of clenching down your energy and tightening up in resistance. Eventually, you can relax with it. And I will also say this is why Bikram yoga is helpful, because the postures that you're doing, by the time that you're done, you're so exhausted that it is impossible not to relax in the heat. Or it's a lot easier to relax in the heat. But this practice of like letting go, and this is again happening kind of like on a nervous system level, not consciously, but letting go of this energy and relaxing into this heat, and letting go of the intensity. This is teaching you how to relax and how to let go of resistance, because the resistance to feeling is what's creating the impulse to flee the situation. So I want to go into the cold therapy, which is something that I'm recently starting to get more into. I'm doing cold showers every day, just for 2 minutes, very simple, not too much. And I think that that's key, is to kind of slowly build up over time. I learned that from Wim Hof. And a good example of this is that I did do a cold plunge probably in November. It was in a pool of ice water, and there was a bunch of guys doing the cold plunge. It seems like guys are much more tolerant to cold. I'm not sure what that's about, but they were doing cold plunge, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I got in, and I was almost, the guy who was like, you know, facilitating it was like panicking almost. He was like a little bit worried because I got in and I started almost, it seemed like I was hyperventilating. It was too intense and I wasn't able to stay in there. I probably stayed in there for like less than 10 seconds. And I think that that was like an indication of my nervous system inflexibility, where the other guys got in, they were doing fine, you know. Not pleasant for them, but they weren't hyperventilating for some reason, and like just breathing very, very fast and uncontrollably. It's almost like I didn't even have the control of my body. My body leapt out of that cold plunge. I couldn't even stay in. So that was too much for me. That was too much for my nervous system, and I have to work my way up. So I'm doing cold showers every day, 2 minutes, and by the time that I get out, it really, really makes a huge difference on how I feel. It feels so much better. I'm more energized. I feel more relaxed. And during that cold shower, I am noticing that my energy is being pulled in, and I'm not even doing this on purpose. It's happening automatically. My nervous system is doing this. It's kind of like pulling in to like a core area that is calmness. It's almost like it's retreating from the cold external skin that's contacting the cold water. It's retreating inwards, and it's kind of like hibernating in this like calm space until the 2 minutes is over. And something about that is it is calming. And I think that it's teaching my nervous system on a subconscious level how to relax and getting in touch with the sensation and the state of relaxation. So again, try cold showers, try sauna, go a little bit at a time. It is helping your nervous system relax. It's helping you learn how to let go of resistance, and yeah, you feel so much better after. I mean, after I do cold showers, after I do sauna, I feel so relaxed. And that's probably, to be honest, one of the only times that I really can like identify feeling super relaxed. So it's a huge helpful tool if you have anxiety.